Yo, what is up, DOT fam, and welcome to your event rundown for the Solo War Dawn of Terror, featuring the all-new Titan HEL. Now, just to give you guys a heads up, if you want to see HEL in action, go ahead and jump to about the 9.5 minute mark, where I display 3 different battles featuring HEL. You can kind of get an idea of what she's like going up against a mixture of different troops and Titans. Again, 9.5 minute mark. Stay tuned here for some event rundown details, though. So let's go ahead and start taking a look at what this Dawn of Terror has. HEL, the goddess of death, has arrived here in the DOT world. Actually is a Norse god. So following Ragnarok, Ragnarok is, of course, not only the end, but also kind of like the re-beginning of what Asgard could be. So maybe Hel is here to reap in the benefits of Ragnarok and take on the new world. So we've got a Titan army, lightning, and physical damage. Unique first skill, double damage. We got 2x Storm Maiden offensive and 2 Militia X skills on Hel here as well. Not only to mention that she's going to be the Titan that features a 1.4 boost in the upcoming Underworld event, and we have Calvrex here, who returns from the grave. Here they added this little detail that he may be the long-dead brother of Theros, but he is going to be offering a 1.3 boost in the upcoming event. Currently in the skeleton, this ranger here offers a 1.4 boost in this event to get to Hel. So if you already have Calvrex, definitely shake the dust off of his bones and bring him out on the battlefield. We're also seeing some all-new Halloween relics, and we'll take a look at these a little bit more in detail soon. But we do have the Cursed Dagger. We have the Vial of Tears. We also have Fenrir, the wolf, which was in North mythology. Fenrir and Hel were actually brother and sister, I believe, if we take a look kind of back at the history books there. But a couple other things that we're actually missing from this event is they currently released a Cursed Hammer. That is not featured in this event, which is a little bit of a disappointment. So if you were able to pick that up for only 4,000 gems, pretty lucky you. Here are your chosen Titans for the Dawn of Terror event, though. You've got Calvrex, as mentioned, offers a 1.4 boost. He's not the only one. Any of your 3 and 4-star Lightning Berserkers or Ice Rangers will give that. So it's pretty easy to get a 1.4 boost. Then you're going to get a 1.2 for any Rangers and Berserkers in your 3 and 4-star levels. So honestly, you've got quite a bit of boost options to get there. Calvrex has been around for a while, came around twice. I think it's pretty easy to have him out there. We also do have the Temple Takeover. So if you're going to be looking to get your hands on any of these, you can give it a shot, but you know, again, may the odds kind of be in your favor. It's not always going to be the easiest to scoop them up. It's not a guaranteed, it's just when those 4-star ones drop. If we keep looking at this, we do have the return of the Book of the Dead relic come about. Here we have the Crazy Eights, pretty standard. We haven't seen this relic in a little while, but you know, they definitely brought it back, not switching it up for the new one. The only thing I would say watch out for is I wouldn't guarantee that the Book of the Dead is going to be coming up for the next event as well. They may possibly switch the relics. We see that happen often. So if you're doing any pulls, I would say do what you need. Maybe try not to go overboard expecting them to be used again. Looking at the event breakdown, it's about 3.5 days roughly. My timer was actually at about 3 days and 17 hours, but here I'm showing 3 days and 8 hours, so already kind of shaved a few off, even though it's only been just a matter of minutes. This is a solo war, so keep in mind that your rank is individual, which means that if you kind of jump around, you've got no problem keeping your souls. You're not going to lose anything there. When you're looking at the milestone, just going to give you a rundown. We can kind of see a few things that pop up here. I think the big thing to pay attention to is the first 5,000 soul count. Within the first 5,000 souls, you do have all 4 of the Shattered tokens available. Even prior to that, 3 of them are available for the 2,000 and before milestones. So keep an eye out for that. We do also have the random relic token here, which has replaced kind of the bonus token. But, you know, that's what it is. It really doesn't give us any great value to it. But we're seeing portal stones. We've got 2 bundles, 50 and 100. That's going to get you a 900 gem value to it. As far as relics go, you can see our first 2-star relic right here, the Whetstone at 1,000 souls. In total, we've got 2 2-star relics, 2 3-star relics, and 6 4-star relics, which is a pretty good count. We also have our gems here, 250 gems, the second bundle. The first one was 100. We've got another 600 and 1,500 coming around. keeping us at a pretty modest and low 2,450 gems throughout this event. Not a lot. You know, we typically can see ourselves upwards of sometimes 5,000, so this is pretty low. And especially for 19,000 souls, I'm a little surprised by that. Divine gems were also coming in a little low. We've got a 100 bundle and a 350 bundle, which only puts us at 450. That's 50 less than what we typically see in these milestones. And we do have one epic token that'll come up soon. Another thing I want to point out here, Idana here, the 2-star Titan, the first one to come up, level 15. Eridus here, the 3-star Titan Ranger, level 15. Now, normally these here are level 10, so we do see the levels increased by 5 for each. They are the only ones, 1 2-star, 1 3-star. Then we have 2 4-stars in this event, including Calvarax and Hel. So, you know, a few changes from what the typicals are. I'm not necessarily going to say the norm, but the typicals. From here on out, again, you can see at the 5,000 soul count here, we do have that 4th and last Shattered token. Beyond that, once you get into 6,000 above, you're starting to get into more of your heavyweight relics and rewards. You've got your Skeleton Ring at 7,000. You've got your Epic Token there at 8,000. We've got the Blood Vial at 9,000. Now, these are returning relics that go along with Calvarax. Back when he was first released, the one thing we don't see included in this event, which I'm a little disappointed by, just to be honest, is the Ancestral Heart, the 4-star. That was only made available the first time around as a Alliance reward, and then it was at the very end of the second time Calvarax came around. But I kind of don't count that event because I wasn't all that happy with him returning a second time. I am now because it's Halloween season, and it's all good. Calvarax here at 11,000 souls. You got to go for it. I think that's kind of just my hand-down rule here is you got to get the grind on. I think just about everybody can get a 1.4 boost, so you got to get yourself to Calvarax there at 11,000 souls. Beyond that, we've got the all-new Cursed Dagger, 13,000 souls. We've got the Return of the Shield of the Gods. Hel here is at 16,000 souls. Then we've got the Vial of Tears at 17,000. We've got the 350 Divine Gems, and our very last relic here is Fenrir. Again, I think it's pretty cool that they included Fenrir at least into the game. I'm kind of disappointed to see that he becomes a relic versus a Titan or possibly even a summoning troop. But, you know, I guess we can't get everything from the mythology right here into the game as far as Titan and playable content. But we've got Fenrir. Like I said, he's the, I think, the older brother of Hel, and I think that even kind of contributes. I think it's pretty cool how they actually design Hel. We'll get to that. But let's take a look at the Alliance rewards. We've got the top 5 are getting a pretty good chunk of Divine Gems, 20,000 at the highest, 15,000 for 2, 12,500 for top 3, and the 4th and 5th ranked player will get 11,000 Divine Gems. So at least enough to do 1 guaranteed 10K and 2 500 altar ones, you know, if that's what they are down to, is just that 11. Top 6 through 10 will get 10,000 Divine Gems, so that's 4 players walking away with that. 7,500 Divine Gems for 11 through 50. You've got ranks 51 through 100 at 5,000. Then you're down to about 2,500 for anyone below 101 to 250, which, again, I think this is pretty unique that on the live stream, they showed Divine Gems and they said, no, this isn't correct, this is going to change, and it ends up staying Divine Gems. So I'm not sure exactly what they were expecting, but I was kind of hoping for maybe some additional Titans in there, maybe even having Astaroth come back around for this, since we've got Calvarax, and they were both released at the same time, but Astaroth really hasn't gotten a lot of good attention after that first event. Beyond here, you've got your gems, but let me go ahead and do a quick breakdown of what this is going to take you for the battles, right? In 3.5 days, you've got 19,000 souls to do. With a 1.4 boost, that means you've got 1,358 raids to do. Or in other words, it's going to cost you 4,074 portal stones. That is going to cost you to refresh those constantly 24,444 gems. And if you're doing 1-minute raids, it's going to take 22.6 hours. If you've got the 1.2 boost, you're looking at 1,584 raids, 4,752 for your portal stones, and 28,512 gems. So definitely becomes a little more expensive if you've got the 1.2. Like I said, I think just about anyone can get the 1.4 with this event. Now, what I want to show you is Hel. Now, here is Hel, and I think this is pretty cool if you look back at the good old Viking and Norse mythology, that Hel was actually half alive and half dead, which they certainly did pretty much cut her down the middle. I think she's got a pretty unique design. I like the fact that they kind of stick to this very, I don't know, old school Viking type of concepts with it, with these Norse gods. They didn't try to modernize it too much, although I will say that Hel's double axes here kind of remind me of the Stormbreaker from a certain cinematic universe, but this is Hel, right? Half dead, half alive. Goddess of the underworld. Again, she's going to be offering a pretty good boost, but this is the one that I got on my test account. And what I'm going to be showing you throughout the next few minutes of this video are 3 different battles featuring Hel. I'm going to break down the skills that we've got here, so let's go into those. The Axes of Hel is going to give you 50% Titan and Army Lightning plus physical damage. So this works both for her, the Storm Maidens, and the Militia all in one skill. I kind of like that. I've got the Aura X for Militia Armor, 176. The Wielding for the Storm Maidens, 180 damage, 360 Militia damage, and 88% Storm Maiden AP. So I've got, you know, between all these relics, I'd say a pretty decent offensive one. The only one that maybe I would have liked would have been like Militia Health, but I'm actually pretty happy with this skill build that's on there. I've really got no complaints here. I think the biggest thing to do is just kind of maximize how you're going to use your militia essentially as meat shields in this case, and maybe have your Storm Maidens do quite a bit of the damage, right? That's what I'm thinking. But here's just some relics that I kind of threw on Hel. I'm not going to say this is the best build, so don't, you know, quote me on that. But I've got the Athenian Aspis, which is going to give you Titan resist against physical, Storm Maiden armor, and Storm Maiden health. So they've already got some damage, some AP, so I'm going to try to maybe keep them alive a little bit more. With that one, I've got the Labrys here, 50% Storm Maiden damage. Go ahead and boost that. More Titan resist against physical, and Storm Maiden armor piercing. So yet again, kind of boosting some of that offensive capabilities of what Hel has to offer. You know, I'm really thinking that Hel would probably be a good opportunist against Panthers, maybe, being the fact that the militia are a little bit more of a battalion style, that it can tie the Panthers up a little bit longer, maybe resist towards poison, which I didn't really equip here, but I do have Fenrir. I brought in Storm Maiden damage 50%, militia damage 50%, and Titan and troop armor piercing, again helping Hel and the Storm Maidens be a little bit more beneficial in the battlefield. I definitely want to see if Hel can actually last, being a berserker, actually survive some battles. So I've got the Mask of Midas here, Storm Maiden armor. I've got Titan critical and a Titan health boost. Yet again, trying to see if we can keep Hel alive a little bit longer in the battlefield and let her get some of that lightning damage out rather than just those Storm Maidens. The Axe of Aesir, 30% Titan and Army physical damage. Again, this is really going to be good for the militia more than anything. Then we've got Titan Army resist against lightning and Titan armor piercing for the last skill, 30%. So again, just looking so far, this is really just kind of a bit of a hodgepodge, a mix. I was just looking at what I had available and what I could throw in here. I did also go ahead and include the brand new Vial of Tears. This one here, 20% Militia critical, 20% Storm Maiden critical, and 24% Troop health. This is one that I don't think would only be good for Hel, but I think there's definitely some other opportunities to bring in this Militia and Storm Maiden relic on a few other Titans. So this is what that setup kind of did for my troops. Militia I've got at 13,277 for health, 3,900 damage. I've got 181% armor. Again, that's kind of what I was leaning towards, is making them a little bit more of a robust meat shield. I get 18% AP and 30% crit for them, but I'm not worried about that because I'm not trying to make them my offensive vehicles for the raids. As far as resistance goes, nothing too special. The only thing that they were able to walk away with was a 24% resist against lightning, and that is not going to help them survive whatsoever. But again, I wasn't after, you know, too much of the resist. I wanted them to be healthy and have that armor to keep them alive. That was a bit more of my goal. With the Storm Maidens, I've got them up to 11,352 health, 3,500 for the damage. I've got their armor at 65%, their critical at 20%, but I did get their armor piercing up at 186%. So yet again, helping that damage really kind of get through there, and it's just kind of a side effect of so many of those relics actually having that AP attached with it. Same thing, Storm Maidens, as far as the resist goes, is they're really only walking away with that 24% lightning damage. Resistance, they're really not going to survive anything else. So we're going to switch over. We're going to start looking at some of these raids here and bringing Hel out on the battlefield. Again, I've got 3 battles. Going to just walk you through my setup first, and then we'll get into the actual attack. So first one I'm going up against here is Paladin, right, level 60. So I'm bringing in my militia. We've already seen those stats, but just a refresher, right? Big thing they're going to be here for is that armor and chunk of that health to kind of keep them alive. So I'm doing a mix. I've got 5 militia, and the rest are going to be these Storm Maidens. Once more time, really really just kind of pushing this AP for those Storm Maidens, trying to see if they can do some of that damage against these enemy troops we're going for. With that, all right, I've got quite a few cats. I've got, level 18s, level 19 troops. That falls right in the ballpark of where I'm at. I'm going to bring a few spells. I've got level 17 and level 15, right? My militia only 17. My Storm Maidens are 15. So let's see what they can do up against this very first one. Again, level 60 Paladin here. I've got cats, so I thought that would actually be pretty helpful to kind of test these Storm Maidens, even though I know I've got to level them up. But this is pretty mid-level, so of course if your troops are higher than that, you know you could do probably quite a bit more and probably even quite a bit faster. But let's go ahead and get Hel right out there in front. She's a Berserker. Going to put her to the test, meat shield the rest, and we're going to go ahead and let these Storm Maidens just rock and roll and see what they can do. So check out the battle. So battle number 1 against Freya, success. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and take the Storm Maidens, especially up against what I think their ultimate enemy is here, is the Panthers, right, who they're designed to take out. So 737 Ladega, level 60, but again, I was trying to keep troops in the ballpark, pretty difficult to find. But I've got some level 19s all the way through level 22 troops. Again, Goliath, same thing. I think Storm Maidens are good against them, so... Again, we're going to go ahead and just set this up a little bit differently. I've got kind of that more of a dog leg kind of map here where we've got the bend in the troops. So I'm going to send some militia over to those grenadiers, see if, yet again, their armor can at least keep them alive as they get their way over to those grenadiers. But they don't start firing until late on this map anyways, which helps these quick militia get to them before they can get a few shots off. We'll go ahead and we're going to send... actually, these Storm Maidens up against the Goliaths, and what I'm going to do is actually bring Hel back over and try to get Hel right over to Ladega, right in the center. Again, being that Ranger, just going to see if we can take her out. I know I got a freezer, else definitely going to put it down, but here's the problem with this. Hel gets tied up by these troops, which isn't helping me whatsoever, so I got to try to bog her down a little bit more, but she does definitely take out my Hel. And the militia able to kind of come in here and save the Storm Maidens and sweep up the rest of that battle. Still resulting in a victory, but a little bit messier than I wanted it to be. Going into this next one, all right, we're going to go ahead and raise the stakes a little bit more. 876 for the defense. This is going to be Siegfried. 591 is still my offense. Got the same mix. Level 18 through 25 troops. And again, same thing with this setup. We'll take a look and see what we can kind of get Hel and her Storm Maidens and militia to do. The biggest challenge, of course, is going to be these archers that are going to have maybe a little bit more range. I've got that physical resist for Hel, though. The rest of my troops don't. So ultimately, we just got to see if I can kind of get within that distance, which being a map, with our spawn point, I should hopefully be able to sweep in and clean it up. Those militia. Storm Maidens kind of taking a little bit of everything else out, but we'll go ahead and get this set up on the battlefield and let you guys see what this last battle is going to look like. But again, as far as strategy goes, I'm going to use my militia to just kind of bog down some of these troops that are first lined up here in the V. Again, send Hel right in there. Level 25 troops, this is the part where it's going to get a little bit tougher, as they definitely can kind of sweep through my 15s and 17s pretty fast. But yet again, let's see if those meat shield-ish type of militia can do their job. And if these Storm Maidens with that extra AP can kind of come in here and sweep it up. And again, Hel, let's just see if she can kind of hold her own as that Berserker. So there we go, guys. We've got 3 victories with Hel. Not always the cleanest, but again, giving you some milestones of what she could do with some mid-level troops and just being Max herself, which she has to kind of bring to the table. Let me know what you think of Hel in the comments down below. Stay tuned for some live streaming for this Terror event. I'm going to be bringing it to you throughout the weekend. Again, leave me your comments down below. Appreciate your likes and your subscriptions, and catch up with me in the chats. I'm GamingJAEGER, and I'm signing out.